Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, you are welcome. Please don't forget to subscribe, like this video to help this channel out, drop a comment, share with your friend, and turn on the notification bell to get notified whenever I drop another video. So in today's video, I'll be teaching you how I made this kinky straight wig from scratch, how I ventilated the frontal, how I wig and style it. It's actually a hair blend wig. This wig is definition of slay on budget. Like, you don't have to break a bank before you can slay. And here is the material you need for tutorial. This is the hair blend I use. You need a wig cap, you need Swiss nails. If you haven't watched how I cut this net, the link is on the description box down below. You need metallic pen, you need ventilating pen. Place your net on the mannequin head and use your T-pin to secure it. I've already drew this line when I was explaining how to cut your frontal net yourself. So I'm going to measure 1 inch from the line I drew earlier. After that, use your metallic pen to indicate where it stops. That's the part where the natural hairline will be. I forgot to mention, I use metallic pen to measure 11 inches because my hair to hair hairline is 11. I don't have to ventilate the whole 13 inches because it's a waste of time. I will have to cut it again if I want to install the frontal. So I only measure my hair to hair hairline and mark it on the net. So I'm trying to move the net closer to the camera so that you can see both lines I drew clearly. After that, you place your net back on the mannequin head. Use your T-pin to secure it. Make sure it's very flat so that you will not be pulling out when you start your hair ventilation. Since the hair is the same length, I just pick one out of it. Assuming the hair is not the same length, you pick the longest one to ventilate your frontal. Then cut small pieces out of the hair bundle. Cut the rest of the hair. After that, you use your tape comb to comb the shorter part out because we only need the longer part for hair ventilation. When you are done combing, you pick small pieces out of the hair, fold it into 2. Make sure one end is longer than the other because you don't want your frontal to be too short. Then you pinch and twist. Use your hand to bring some hair out so that you can see the number of hair you want to be working with. There are 3 lines on the net: the vertical, the horizontal, and the slanted line. So I'm going to follow the slanted line, which is the diagonal method. Pass your pin through the nets, bring out the hair you want to be working with, wrap your pin through the hair and pass it to the loop. Then use your hand to secure it, to make it tight. Pass your pin through the nets, bring out the hair you want to be working with, wrap your pin through the hair and pass it to the loop. The size of pin I'm using here is 2 to 3. You can only pick 2 or 3 strands of hair at once. So I'm only picking 3 strands of hair at the back because I want the wig to be full and I want it to look natural as well. The size of pin you use really matters. There is 1 to 1, there is 1 to 2, there is 2 to 3, there is 4 to 5. So if you are a beginner that you don't know how to control your pin yet, I will advise you to use 1 to 2 or 2 to 3. So that you will not be picking too much hair at once. You will continue your hair ventilation till you reach the line you drew at the front, not the one that comes with the net, the one you drew to achieve the natural hairline. So once you reach the line, you will stop your ventilation because the strand of hair you use at the front is different. So I'm almost done with the half of the wig hair. For a frontal, it's not necessary you put a middle part. I usually put a middle part based on request. That's if my client wanted to come with a middle part. But this wig, I'm the owner of the wig. I wanted to have that perfect middle part. So that's what I want to do here. To get the base of the hair, I mean the part that will cover the back section, you measure 1 inch from the back and use your metallic pen to indicate where it stops. Before I ventilate the base of the hair, I want to get the middle part first. I have a separate video explaining how to get a perfect middle part. I also have a video explaining how to ventilate your frontal. So if you have interest in those videos, you can check my page for it. I just don't want to be repeating the same thing every time. So I'm still going to explain briefly on how to get your middle part. First method you can use is to fold your net into 2 equal parts and use your hand to press the middle part down. Then use your metallic pen to indicate that part so that you can get your perfect middle part. And second method is to divide your net measurement into 2. Since we are working with 13 by 4 inches, so you are going to divide 13 into 2, which is 6.5. Then you use your metallic pen to indicate where 6.5 stop. Then you are going to ventilate a straight line, two straight line at that part. You just use your metallic pen to mark. So I'm done with the ventilation of the middle parts here. You can see how straight and neat it is. For better explanation, you can check my page for those videos I mentioned earlier. So I continue the ventilation of the base of the hair by following the same method. It's a diagonal method that I use. You pass your pin through the net, bring out the strand of hair you want to working with. I told you I'm working with 3 strands of hair, but you can just throughout the whole ventilation, or you can use 4, but just make sure you are not picking too much hair at once so that the knots will not be too big. And if you are using more than 2 strands of hair at the back, make sure you change the strand of hair at the front to 1, but at most 2 strands of hair at the front, so that you can achieve a natural hairline. Ventilation is the same. You pass your pin through the net, bring out the hair you want to be working with, wrap your pin through the hair and pass it to the loop, and make sure you are using your hand to tighten it, especially when you are working with human hair or hair blend, so that the hair will not be loosening up after you ventilate it. Before we continue with the tutorial, let me use this opportunity to thank everyone that has been patronizing my small business. Thank you so much. God bless you. Aside the wig, the frontal closures, ventilation you see on my page that I'm selling, I'm also selling wigging and hair ventilation material. If I did not upload what you want, you can send the picture to me on this phone number you are seeing on your screen, or if I upload it, you can just screenshot and send it to me on this phone number you are seeing on your screen. Thank you. Back to the tutorial. You are going to continue ventilating the base of the hair. Ventilation is the same. Once you know how to pass your pin through the nest and bring out the amount of hair you want to be working with, you are free to go. So I'm done with the base of the hair here. You can see how neat it is. So the purpose of ventilating the base of the hair without giving space is to cover the back section when you part your hair. So when I'm done with the base of the hair, I continue my ventilation by following the same pattern I've been using from the beginning, which is the diagonal method. I'm following the slanted line. So I have to fast forward this part because I don't want this video to be too long, and also I have a lot of things to explain aside this hair ventilation. So I'm almost done with the whole ventilation here. I've ventilated the front hairline for one part. I'm trying to show you so that you can see the difference. You can see how natural that part is. So the next thing is to teach you how to get that natural part for the second part. So to get a natural hairline, you are going to change the strand of hair you have been using from the back, whether you are using 2 strands or 3 or 4 at the back. You are going to use just 1 strand of hair at the front. Then when you are done ventilating the straight line, you will leave 1 straight line, then move to the next. Before we go further, I normally say this in all my videos: if you are tired, ventilation is not a day job. If you are tired, just take a day or 2 days off before you continue your ventilation. But if you are forcing yourself to ventilate when you are tired, you notice that you are doing rubbish. So it's better you take a day or 2 days off when you are tired, then continue when you are fully okay. So you continue using 1 strand of hair until you reach the last line on the net. So I have to fast forward this part because I don't want this video to be too long. Like I said earlier, the ventilation is the same. It's only the strand of hair that I change when I reach the front hairline. So I'm done with the whole ventilation here. You can see how neat and natural the hairline is looking like. So next thing to do is to place your frontal on the wig cap. I've already placed the wig cap on the mannequin off camera. So when you are placing it, make sure it's not flat. Make sure the front is forming like M shape. Then you use your pin to secure it so that it will not be moving around when you are sewing it. So when you are done placing your frontal on the wig cap, the next thing to start sewing is from one side to the other. Just make sure you are not leaving too much space so that it should be very tight and neat. And make sure you are knotting it at least twice to secure it. So I've reached the middle part here. I have to fast forward the rest of this because I don't want this video to be too long, like I said earlier. So I'm done with the sewing here. You can see how neat and firm it is. So next thing is to pick one of the Hairblend do. You can pick any one since it's the same length. Then use your tipping to secure it, just like you're seeing in this video. You start sewing it from one side to the other. And make sure you are knotting it at least twice, just like I said when I was sewing the frontal. Make sure you are knotting it at least twice to secure it. So guys, I need your suggestion on something, because so many people have been contacting me from both IG and WhatsApp that they want physical class. Even though I have an online class explaining in details on how to ventilate, but it's not everybody that can grab easily online. So, and location has been the problem. If I tell them my location, they'll be like it's too far. So I'm just thinking maybe I should just arrange for 2 weeks or a week physical class. Then they will use a week to learn, then the second week to do practicals. So let me know your suggestion in the comment box down below. I wish to explain this part better, but I don't know how to go about it. If you can notice, instead of the 2 webs of the hair, I took one when I want to flip it over, so that this part will not be too bulky when I flip it over. So when I'm closer to the part where the second one is, I have to join it so that I can continue my sewing just like at the beginning. So that's how you continue your sewing until you reach the front part. I will have to leave you to watch the rest of this sewing because I don't know how to explain it. You just have to watch it and follow the way I'm sewing it. So I'm almost done with the sewing here, but I have to fast forward the remaining parts because I don't want this video to be too long. If you have interest in this wig, just know that the price varies depending on the size of closures or frontals you want. So you can send a DM on IG or WhatsApp to confirm the price of what you want. So I'm done with the sewing here. So next thing is to cut the excess wig cap at the front. And this is how it looks like when I'm done with both sewing and the ventilation. You can see the hairline is giving what it's supposed to be giving. So this is the length of the hair. You can see how full and neat it is. And this is how it looks like when I install it on my head. You can see how pretty it is. See the length is very long. So if you want a video on how I install this wig, you can let me know at the comment section. Don't forget to add me up on IG at mina.beauty. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing by clicking on the subscribe button down below. Like this video to help this channel, drop a comment, share with your friend, and turn on notification bells to get notified whenever I drop another video. See you in my next video. Bye.